Mhm. Hey everybody, let's see here. Hey, what's up, people? Sorry I'm running late. I told y'all I'd be in here earlier, but my aunt Rose called me and she's having a knee surgery. Or she sent me a text, and she's having a knee surgery. So I called to check and see what the status of that was and when she's supposed to have it. Hold on, let me get this chat where it's coming up. There we go, so I can see everybody's chat. Hey Rochelle, some of y'all done did this. So I can't see everybody who came in here. Um, hey son, Rochelle's in here. Miss Chicago BBW. Sorry if I missed anybody. I just put the chat so I can see it. Hope everybody's doing good. Hey African Violet, what's going on? Magical Girl, what's up? Catalina, I ain't seen you in a minute. Um, Getting my coffee together. I woke up with the worst headache, y'all. Uh, yeah, she had was in a car accident several, I guess, I don't know, a month or so back, and they tried to do injections. Hey, Smooth, what's up? Cherie, what's up? They tried to do injections in her knees, and then they went to some kind of gel thing in her knees, and she could barely walk. And her house is a two-story house. And my aunt is like, this is my mother's sister, and she's my godmother. She is Maunt Rose. This is one who's an educator. Was a teacher. Um, She's the one who was married to the guy who was director of Urban League in Tucson, and then they ended up moving out to Tennessee where he worked for the Urban League, and then they divorced. And then I have a couple of different civil rights folks. Because my father's mother, my Grumpy Smurf's mom, she was married to a man, and his son was director of Urban League Phoenix. So we got two of those in the family line. But this is that aunt, and so she actually was in some kind of car accident. Hey, Nikki, what's up? Um, they actually did gel injections; those didn't work. So now she's actually got to go for the double knee surgery. So I ended up on the phone with her, thinking I would get on here. So I do apologize. Yeah, if you guys are coming to the channel, please give me a like, thumbs up, share the videos out. Let me go ahead and say that and knock that out. Hey, hey, hubby. Hey, magical girl said. Hubby says, hey. Um, hey, Kathy, what's up? And thank you for your feedback and welcome to the channel because Kathy gave me some really good feedback. Um, but I want to talk a little bit. I was gonna hop on here with coronavirus. I'm gonna be doing another trucking video. I'm gonna try to keep them a little separate because I am gonna have more probably the motivational stuff on here too, and some Christian stuff. I'm just gonna keep it real. It's just who I am. Um, but the coronavirus today, I mean, everybody's been joking about it and saying a lot of stuff. And I'm gonna pour my coffee. I got the worst headache, y'all. I've been had a headache since I woke up this morning. And I'm wondering, sometimes you have caffeine and I drink a lot of coffee at night. And then when I'm at home, I don't drink coffee as much. I do get cravings every so often. Give me a second, y'all. Oh, didn't I have? Yeah, I know I got it. All right, y'all. I don't know where's what. I thought I had another thing of creamer. Well, I see that one. I gotta do refrigerator clean up and clean out and grocery shopping this week. I thought I had a different one of these, but that's okay. We'll work on this right now. Um, and kitchen cleaning too. And I gotta clean. I still got to do these cabinets out here, up here. I haven't done them yet. Um, Doing this is a sugar-free coffee mate. Which one is this? Oh, this Italian sweet cream. So this the sugar-free, and I'm gonna. We don't need no sugar. It does a good job. And I don't do sugar anyway. I do substitute. Who came in? Love it to bits. Okay. Uh, Oh, it is good. Okay, I first time they Safeway, also Albertson Safeway, they have different sales on, and they had a sale on where you could get the stuff for 75 cents. If you go in there, they like the first two for like $1.75, something like that. And so I had my coffee, and I'm wondering if that's it as a caffeine withdrawal. Anyway, first there was some channel stuff. So Danielle was here. If y'all saw the pictures, she was here. I didn't really interview her this time, but I put pictures up on the Facebook page. And oh, Safeway. I'm in walking distance. Safeway just across the street from my house. I'm about 2 blocks from a Safeway. Block one to the light. Block two is Safeway, and then across the street from me is Sprouts. And I do most of my stuff at Sprouts now because I've been going more plant based. I still eat meat on occasion if I go out, but I'm probably that's gonna start diminishing more as well. Everything I've been doing is plant based. Pretty much anything I have in this house, with the exception of the leftover turkey, which I'm gonna try to use that up here soon and probably make some soup with it. And whatever's left is probably unfortunate. I'm gonna put it out here for some of the cats and the dogs to eat. But that are out in the neighborhood, it's done. That's the last of the meat in my house. Everything else has been all plant based. I even buy plant based type meat. So like the plant based links, the plant based meatballs, the plant based loose meat. I got the jackfruit, canned jackfruit. I've made jackfruit tacos. I've made jackfruit burritos, and jackfruit is actually very good because it's basically whatever seasoning you put with it is the flavor it takes. Someone's and the texture is very similar to when you're cooking it. Very similar to like a shredded chicken. Um, so jackfruit and me are friends. Actually, I have a little case of it that I bought six cans on Amazon through through the thing. But I'll start doing the cooking vids on it because you're gonna start seeing me eat differently. So I'll start doing some videos where I actually do some of the cooking on here. That's what I'm gonna say. This channel is gonna take on some different personalities, and it's funny because I had a gentleman. I think he's a gentleman who I don't know who he is. I don't even know if he's a trucker, and I guess he made some comments about because I had the Christian stuff on here. Well, I guess you going Christian, and I've seen you mess up some good company jobs and yada yada yada. Guys, you ain't walking in my shoes, so I really, you can say what you want to say. You haven't had my experiences. You haven't walked in my shoes. And I don't even know if you're a minority or not. I don't even know if you work in the industry. I don't know if you understand the industry. Um, there are heavy biases in Trucker Bill. I'm gonna back up a little bit. So I'm gonna talk. We're just gonna talk, y'all. When I first got into trucking, my friend Linda was a lady from my church. She said, before you go into trucking, I want you to sit down and talk with my brother. Okay, and Bill is her brother-in-law, or her brother-in-law. So Trucker Bill is her brother-in-law. And I met Trucker Bill at her house in Mesa, Arizona. We sat at her dining room table. Me and Bill sat her down. Her and her sister were in the living room. Bill sat down with me, and this is what Bill said. And y'all saw me interview. If you go back, you can see me interview Trucker Bill. Trucker Bill's a hot mess, but he's cool. But he's real. And Bill is 60 some years old. Bill's 64 years old, I think. And Bill gave me some life lessons because I'm coming from a corporate background. And he told me, he says, I would like to see more of us, more minorities, more women in the industry. He says, you actually help change things in the industry a lot in different ways with bringing women in. He says mainly you saw women with husbands when I come out here, but you didn't see a lot of women in the industry. And when I came into the industry, it was mainly Anglo meaning European white folks in the industry. And y'all know I don't like the color thing. To me, I'm an ethnicity person. So Anglo meaning by the standards, somebody European, white folks is what they want to call them here. I hate the color thing because I really don't believe in the whole color thing. I believe in ethnicities. So you saw more European, Anglo-Saxon, or Caucasian people in the industry. He says, we need to see because there's money to be made in the industry. The thing is that the industry working on the inside now, seeing some of the things corporately inside, at least at the company I'm at right now. Like I said, I I see where this industry could go if I could see where this industry can go, and I'll read that in a minute. If they were willing to change things, but these people are very entrenched in some mindsets, and it needs to change on the inside so it impacts you guys in the seats on the outside. I got a fly in here. God, I hate them. Got a gnat. Is he a gnat? That's a gnat. I don't even know if he's a fly. I think he's more of a gnat. Um, I can see where those changes need to take place. Unfortunately, they have not taken place, and I don't know if they will. Um, it's what I have seen is very sad. And it's sad because it could be such a phenomenal industry. The diversity in the industry could be something extraordinary. Unfortunately, and I'm going to say that, unfortunately, what I am seeing is disconcerting in the companies. In the level of diversity, I believe there needs to be cultural sensitivity training on both race, um, gender, as far as sexism, ageism. The only good thing I will say, they do hire in the trucking part where you drive. They don't care what your age is. And in the trucking part where they drive, they will hire you as far as if you're a minority. But again, I know that there's different treatments. Um, from working both sides of the coin, but now even in the office, some of the stuff I'm seeing, it's just very disconcerting. And what they really need, there used to be a company called Arthur Anderson. Arthur Anderson would go into companies, and they would go in there and they would sit people in positions in order to see what's going on in a company, and then they would come back and they would give a report to the heads of the company and say, these are the things you need to fix in order to make your company more lucrative, in order to avoid possible issues. Okay. And for me, working on the inside, I really believe that is something that, if this is indicative of all companies, and I can't say it is of all, but I think it is indicative of a lot of trucking companies. This is something that's needed in the industry. It needs an overhaul. It needs an overhaul from the inside to the outside. And I'm saying from the inside offices all the way down into the seats of the trucking companies. But it will hurt so much for them to do that, and the finances to do it, a lot of these companies aren't willing to spend. Hey, homie, what's up, Monet? Um, so I've seen a lot. I'm going through some things I'm not able to discuss here. Um, but I definitely know some of it has to do with my ethnicity. Some of it has to do with my gender. This damn gnat. This gnat is irritating as hell, y'all. You know my thing with flying insects. He gonna have a moment. He getting ready to die. He don't know he gonna get ready to die. Um, so y'all know me and flying insects. Kind of like what happened on the truck. He getting ready to go see Nat Jesus. That's what he getting ready to go see. The Nat Jesus, whoever he report to, he going to see him in a little bit. Um, so there are just some things I see. But this gentleman got on there and just talking smack about Monet, do you want to come local? Because Nikki's working for a company out here that's 20 something an hour. When she gets into her overtime, I'm going to segue here for her. When she gets into her overtime, I think it's like 30, $40 an hour. And they pay even extra in the evenings. She's home on a regular basis. It's the dump truck company out here. They're based out of Mesa. Hit me up in text if you want the information. I don't know if Nikki gets any kind of referral bonus, but I definitely can hook you up with her. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Have you talked to her, and you be home here in Arizona since you moved here. Uh, her training wasn't all that long, and now we're gonna talk about. She'll tell you about some things on the side, talking about that discrimination female thing that we talk about in trucking, but you already know that game because that's trucking. So she has experienced a little bit. Also, I know of some other companies out here in Arizona um, hiring, because I just talked to a friend of mine who's working in office for one of them, and Nikki was also applying, and I think it's around 70 a year. If you're driving for them, and we could talk about that. It would get into some car hauling for them, but you would be home again on a regular, and their headquarters are here in Arizona. Um, I have a friend of mine who I just found out is working for their call center here in Arizona. We work together at University of Phoenix, and I know Nikki was talking about that. But yeah, this is not. This is all. This would be. You'd be taking stuff, I think, from here to like Tucson, maybe into New Mexico and back. It's car hauling, but it's good money, and they pay all your insurance. So they pay. I think their insurance carrier is Aetna. No, you wouldn't be. Well, I don't know if you'd be home every day or not. You could talk to them, but it's good money. I know she's working for the call center side, and Nikki was saying that. But Nikki's one is you are going to be here. It's a dump truck, but it's good money. Those are the ones that I know about right now. Uh, Trucker Bill is working for Ashley. Now Ashley has some stuff too, and I can put you in contact with Trucker Bill. Um, I don't know what company you're talking about, Chicago. You have to let me know what company it is. I Trucker Bill, he's working for Ashley, and they have a drop hook, and then they have the one where you actually unload the truck. Um, the drop hook, I don't know what it pays, but the trucking, that one actually could be regional. Okay, well I no, I'm gonna give you some numbers and you call them. You being a ninja. Don't be a ninja, Monet. Don't have them call me. I'm special. I'm gonna give you their numbers and you gonna call them. And I'll let Nikki and Trucker Bill know you gonna call them with questions, okay? Bill already knows I actually send people to him, so that's never a problem. I need to just go on and make myself a dang, what do you call them? The people who do the referrals. I need to be one of them, play a job placement person, and get kickbacks on that for truck drivers. Because I get truckers asking me that question. That's what I need, and I can just work from home and not be going into these businesses with the crazy drama. Y'all have no idea what I've been through lately. They ain't even at that company don't know some of the stuff because I don't repeat some of the stuff that's been said to me, and I've had some really negative stuff. Which, like I said, there's cultural sensitivity training that needs to be done in this place. um, I'm gonna work everything to my advantage. That's why I've had to tell them pretty much I don't. I'm not looking for growth opportunities with what I've seen right now because I don't have the. If they ever put me somewhere in a position of authority, I would just go clean house because they really just need. They really just trying to call me, and I'm doing the live, so y'all forgive me. Um, they really need to have the cultural sensitivity training. I'm gonna try to wrap this up because I'm gonna come back in here later. Coronavirus. Let me get into that real quick because I got off track. A lot of people up here doing the coronavirus, y'all selling out, or they charging 40 and 50 and $100 for some damn rubbing alcohol. I went back old school about a year or so back, and I have bars of soap in my bathroom. I when I stayed at hotels, I took the little bars. I got tons of soap, so I got bars of soap. I keep bleach. I make a bleach water, bleach y'all, bleach and some water. Bleach is nice. Bleach is like a disinfectant. Most hospitals use bleach. It's a major chemical. You can buy bleach at dollar store. Um, these people are losing their damn minds. First of all, you should automatically have toilet paper and stuff. Coronavirus, do I think it's serious? Yes, I think it's serious. At my job, again, cultural sensitivity, they want to talk politics because I work with a lot of people who are Trump supporters. Again, I don't get into political conversations. As a Christian, I believe Trump is supposed to be in office. Whether I agree with his philosophy, I'm a person the Bible says I place king. So God put him there for the reason. Now, Bible also tells me I take the dumb things to confound the wise. I consider myself wise, and I consider this man very different. So I am confounded. I am confused. But at the same time, everything happens for a reason. And sometimes God will take a certain type of person in order to maneuver them. And so he's maneuvering them, even though he doesn't realize that he is being maneuvered to do certain things that he doesn't understand. And that's cool because to me, time is wrapping up, and God uses what he uses in order to get things done. With that being said, I know they're in there talking about, oh, well, the Democrats are doing this in order with the coronavirus. Some of them don't even believe it's real. Some joke. This is not something to joke about. We have something that's serious. It's a very bad, I'm going to say probably a very bad type of flu, very much like when they had the H1N1. And some people are going to die from it. That's just the reality of it. That's why I always say have your house in order. I'm kind of on the spectrum of, you know what? I'm gonna go do my life, live it day to day, and I don't have any control on how God's gonna take me out. I really would like not to die of cancer or any major death, and when my time comes, I would like to go quickly, without a lot of drama, and prayerfully my house is in order so I don't cross the divide into hell. That's just kind of how I see things. Um, you're absolutely right, Monet. There were prophecies done by a man named Kim Clement. Kim Clement actually did a prophecy on me and my brother a long time ago, and I was not even in the room. And that man said things about me that there's no way he would know except something, some divine things that he would have in conjunction. And to me, he was tapped in. I was not in the room when Kim Clement had said some things about me and my brother, and then he's also the one that prophesied years before about Donald Trump being in office. So while people may be mad, I'm African American. I believe that he is supposed to be there. I did not vote for him to be there. I'm gonna say that. Um, I didn't like any of the candidates, to be honest. I didn't like not one, Democrat or Republican. I didn't like none of them. Zero. Okay. So I personally, that was not my thing. I did not vote to have any of them in office, any at all. So I abstain. I leave it in God's hands when I just don't have any choices. That's how I am. I'm also not Democrat, nor am I Republican. I'm an independent. I'm registered as independent. So that means I can vote on either side of the coin, Republican or Democrat. So I don't play favorites in the realm of I only vote Democratic or only vote Republican, because I liked McCain, and McCain was a Republican. He's here. He was a senator here in my home state of Arizona. I had a friend of mine that worked for McCain. But at the end of the day, I realized that all these people are politicians. They manipulate, they lie in order to get their positions, even McCain. It's just what it is. It's the name of the game. So all you're really doing is picking which devil is the best. I wish people would get out of the advent of social media and the plethora of information that's out there. People are kind of they're losing their mind, and they don't know how to think on their own. Um, I'll have to read it later. They don't know how to think on their own, and they don't know how to analyze information. There's people who've gotten on there and saying that what's that? That the coronavirus ain't real. It's a hoax. All this other stuff. It's just insanity. And I sit in a job and I've heard these guys spout off rhetoric that's told to them by their maybe people from their party or news medias that tend to lean towards their party, and they spout the same rhetoric without being able to think intelligently on their own. Um, does this exist? I'm gonna go with science. Obviously, we have a healthcare group that says it exists. It came from another country. It is serious, and I think that we should take the necessary precautions that we can without losing our mind. Will you have control if you get it? Not necessarily. And the best thing we can do is pray for one another and get through what we can get through, and prayerfully that God allows the scientists to come up with hopefully some sort of vaccine in order to fight off the or stave off the virus and help a lot of people survive it. Um, it is what it is. We're due. I mean, mankind has had many different pandemics that have happened. Um, and time is wrapping up. We're going to probably see even more of them. Did we think that there would be a time that Ebola would hit the U.S.? We're a global community now. We're not America's here with the advent of business now being international and trade being international, not just we only take care of our country. We're going to be impacted by things globally. The trucking industry is impacted by what's that? The lanternfly that came from overseas. That's now having a huge impact not only on our trucking industry but our food industry. It hit the East Coast extremely hard. It's evasive, and they still are having problems with it. Um, we're going to be hit by this coronavirus, and to sit in stupidity and either to say it doesn't exist, and I even think to joke about it is it's kind of twisted and sick, because there are going to be people that are going to lose their life behind this virus. This is very serious, but also to not be in stores beating each other up, and I got to get the last roll of toilet paper to wipe my behind. Um, Also, I'm gonna say this to you: some of you younger folks, y'all think that hand soap is the squishy stuff that comes out the liquid bottle. Back in my day growing up, we were given a bar of soap. I keep it in my kitchen. That's soap. See. These are pieces. This is from I stayed at hotels when I was in the truck. I got a thing in my back here. I'm gonna take y'all to the bathroom. Let me show y'all this. Hold on. We're gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Hold on, y'all. I know I'm taking the coffee to the bathroom. Hold on. Let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all something. In my bathroom. Ooh, that little fly. He followed me to the payload. I think he's a gnat. He's a big gnat. He's a butthole. Hold on, I'm gonna turn y'all around. Y'all see this? That whole thing is filled with bars of soap. That bars of soap. Hold on, take y'all somewhere else. Y'all see that? It's bars of soap. Hold on, turn y'all around. Okay, hold on. We're gonna sit down on the top of the commode. Hopefully y'all can see me okay. Hold on, let's see if y'all can see me okay. All right, sit in here for a little bit. The soap was what I grew up with. We took a bath with soap. Now, young folks, y'all think y'all gotta have shower gel. And it was funny. Today I was on Facebook, and one of my old church people, she was showing the pictures of Walmart where uh all the little squishy soap. I said, well, they ain't have no bars. We done got away from thinking soap is soap. When I grew up, washing your hands. See, I got one in the bathroom too. You wash your hands with bars of soap. I went back to soap over a year ago because I started realizing it was more expensive. Hold on, y'all. It was more expensive to buy a shower gel than soap, and shower gel went quicker. A bar of soap can last me several months in the shower, and then when it gets too small, unlike my father who was throwing them away, I put them in here and turn them into hand soap. It's soap. Because I got bars, I'm not worried about going up to Walmart because the shower gel went out. Now I'm missing alcohol, rubbing alcohol. I had some of that, right? A Monet, please, girl. How long did we live growing up as kids with soap? If you touching the dispenser to press the dispenser after you took a dump, I dare you to take a Q-tip swab and find out how many germs is on the top of that dispenser. And the bar of soap, you doing this under the water, you're rinsing off it's soap. It's still gonna get your hands done. Thank you. It's soap. Whether it's the pump or what, it's still soap. The soap that's in those things that they call in soap is really detergent. It's more so what it falls under. Bars of soap we've been using since we was kids. Um, so soap will still get the job done. Okay. Ooh, he landed. He landed, y'all. Oh, he landed. He landed. Hey, hold on, hold on. Got your behind. I think I got him, y'all. He going to see the little ninja. He got away. I'm gonna get him. 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 Y'all know I got issues with flying. I got issues with insects in general, flying insects especially. But he's a gnat. He's a little. He been chilling out. He been chilling out. Anyway, um, but we've been using. So I'm gonna disagree with you, sis. I know what they'll tell you, but understand. See, this is my thing with a lot going on. We got to think about stuff. If I can get you away from bars of soap, and I get you buying that pump stuff that's more expensive in the long run, I market that to you because you actually, I make more money off of it, and I get the media and I get the hype up behind it. Guess what? Some companies may make more money off of you buying that shower gel and the pump stuff opposed to this bar of soap that lasts you how long? A bar of soap. I've been washing my hands with a bar of soap in this house. Let me see if I got that piece left. I had a piece in here. It's so tiny. A little piece. That little piece. This one's going down too. That one's going down, right? I've been washing my hands with that bar of soap now. As soon as I get done with the shower, I put it in there. Or I use these, right? It's soap. It, it's soap. We grew up with it. I'm sorry. This is where you have to start. That's why I said people are listening to the media on stuff that's just, no offense, asinine. They've been listening to the media on stuff, and we buy into everything. So let me help you out with something. Let me help you out with something. For years, the African American and the Latino community knew that cops were grabbing young black boys or black folks in certain neighborhoods, taking them and beating their behinds. We knew this. It took the advent of the cell phone and people filming it for us to then take it serious and have proof of it. Hello, folks can tell you, oh no, that's not happening in the community. And we knew it was happening. We also knew that the way we were represented in media was always in a negative light. Come on, y'all. We got to wake up. We got to wake up. So it just depends on, in my opinion, right now, you can't get shower gel. You can't get hand soap. So, honey, if they, let's go old school. It still worked. I don't know. I ain't never had no problem. And like I said, if you're gonna get what you're gonna get. I'm a firm believer. We say a lot of things passes germs. Toothbrushes are nasty. We brush our teeth every day with toothbrushes that got crap load of germs on them. Yes, we do. We use the faucet every day. When you get up and you clean up, you take your hand and you move the faucet like that, right? Hello? Your hand just wiped your stuff. I'm just saying. And then you wash your hands and you push the faucet back like that. Question mark. I just want y'all to think about it. I want you to think about it. Yet, there's a difference between the shower jelly stuff or the hand jelly stuff, and now all of a sudden, bottled water. They done cleaned out cases of bottled water. Me and my buddy Joe were talking. He's like, "Yeah, I went to go." He said, "He's like, yeah, they talking about." He said, "Shannon," he said, "they telling me have get water, have water. Can we boil the water out the sink and put it in a bottle and drink it?" I know they done messed up our drinking water out the tap because I grew up when you could drink water out the hose and it tasted normal, not like it is today. Because I remember you go outside and play as a kid, sweat and do all that stuff. These kids don't know about playing outside because they sit in front of video games all damn day. It drives me nuts. But I remember playing outside in the street, kickball, riding your bike, running, racing your friends. Come on, y'all. For the old people, 51. And then you go to the water hose because your mama didn't want your smelly, stanky behind in the house because you've been outside sweating. Or maybe y'all didn't do that. I don't know. And drinking out the water hose. I wasn't always this fat. I did run. I did ride a bike. I did play kickball. Loved kickball. And drink out the water hose. Facts. Okay. And it was still good water. Not like they done messed it up today. But even if water is bad, I'm not pulling it out of a lake, a pond. I'm bringing it through the system here. Now, I ain't in Detroit, Michigan, and what's that other city where they done messed them people's water up and causing cancer and all that? That's a whole nother bag of worms, where they might need a Berkey filter for that. But you can boil. My friend said, boil some water and pour. Come on, y'all. Let's get back to you up here fighting in stores over some bottled water because you kids, the babies don't know. There are still tools and methods in order to not be up in the stores again. Y'all can see me. Okay. That was Joe. Sorry about the interruption in the live. I told him I'm doing a live. Can y'all hear me okay? I hope y'all can hear me still okay. So you got people are going in stores and acting fools behind some stuff that you have in your house. Joe and I were talking. He's like, "Yeah, I went to go get rubbing alcohol and hand sanitizer, and the stores were sold out." One of my friends said, "Check Amazon." He said, "Girl, do you know Amazon charging 40 some dollars for a bottle of rubbing alcohol?" I'm gonna help y'all out. So before rubbing alcohol was invented, maybe during the times of the Western cowboy, and even probably in my grandparents' times, there's something also known as alcohol. And with a certain volume, with a certain antiseptic quality. Now, granted, you don't want to be smelling like alcohol, but it can disinfect. You can go buy you some cheap alcohol and you disinfect, have it for medicinal purposes in your home. For the alcoholics, I'm sorry that I don't, I don't want y'all to go that route, but there are other things. And I'm sorry if I'm gonna pay $40, you better pay $40. Like I think Monet just said for some whiskey and something with the alcohol content. You can actually pour alcohol in trucks. Here's the trucking part in your truck in your truck airlines to clear them out. Trucker bill. And you can pour that in there. And I was gonna get on that Trucker Bill conversation about diversity, and I got off the subject. But you can pour those in your airlines, like alcohol, like drinking alcohol, in order to clear out your airlines in the winter months. There's things you can do even in your windshields in order to keep it from freezing. Drinking alcohol in there in order to keep it from freezing. So there's other stuff. Don't people please don't be out here losing your mind with these crazy people behind this coronavirus, fighting in stores over water, fighting over the out rubbing alcohol on the shelves. There are alternatives. I keep this right here. And I got this from Walmart. I know it looks kind of yellow. You know why it looks yellow? Because it's bleach. It's bleach and water with a couple squirts of Dawn in there. Every time I take a shower, I am a person who believes in disinfecting. Every time I get out the shower, I spray down my walls. Hey, Disney Princess, I spray down my walls. I spray my tub with bleach and water. It's half bleach, half water, and a couple shots of Dawn. I clean my tub. I do a scrubbing of my tub once a month because my tub is automatically sprayed to be that if bleach don't kill it, I don't know, then it ain't gonna die. If bleach don't kill the germs, then it ain't gonna die. I spray my tub down with that solution uh, every time I take a shower. So when you get out my tub, I don't have mildew, I don't have mold, and my tub stays relatively clean. I do a scrubbing of the tub and walls once a month. And I can even tell you a solution to do in order to get soap scum out your tub with some vinegar and Dawn. Okay, you just basically spray it, sit it, and then take a brush and just scrub it. It'll take any of that soap scum right off. You can do CLR too, but that right there will definitely work as well. And just when you get done, just throw some water on it, scrub it off. Boom. It'll scrub that. It'll scrub. I've got to get ready to do a batch of it in order to do that here. There are things you can do. Astringents, even vinegar is an astringent, and distilled vinegar, all those things. If you run out of underarm deodorant, baking soda, there's some stuff you can do. People don't be up in these stores fighting with these folks. It it don't make no doggone sense. And please don't spend $40 for some rubbing alcohol that was $2.50 at Walmart. I don't because they out. If you have to, go buy you a cheap bottle of liquor with a good alcohol per volume rating, and wash your hands. Some gin, vodka. Uh, she said whiskey. Please don't drink it. But if you need it for antiseptic purposes for whatever reason, a cut, it will get the job done. The other thing that is out there is I don't know if I have any in the bathroom. Do I have any in here? I got some up here. Yep. Okay. And don't forget, 99-cent store is your friend. Big Lots, 99-cent store. Y'all, come on now. You know, this is not going to be the first issue that we have in health. With health, and also you should have certain supplies in your house. I have now. I go and I'm by myself. Praise God. But this right here, you shouldn't just have a week's worth. Please don't be Grumpy Smurf. Don't be Grumpy Smurf. Now, Grumpy Smurf, because he does keep toilet paper. Don't be Grumpy Smurf. Now, Grumpy Smurf, when this all gets ready to go down, if there's quarantines and things get shut down, he gonna be A out because he don't have no food in his house. He too busy waiting for a woman to cook it or go buy out. And I told him, I said, if there's an emergency, what are you going to do? He has no staples. He has no dry rice. He has no dry beans. Those are things you should have in your house as a staple. So if things do get bad, if you are quarantined in your house, right now, I can go in my kitchen and I'm gonna tell you, as one person, I have a minimum of at least 3 months worth of food in this house. It might not be exactly what I want to eat. It's a manna from heaven kind of situation where I'm gonna eat the same stuff over and over again. But I got beans, I got rice, I got lentils, I got some canned goods, I got food where I can make something and fill my belly to eat. There's water in the sink. I got a pot. I can boil some water. I'm getting ready to buy one of the little $15 pitchers from Amazon where you can do the filtration system. And I'm going to do that. That's good enough for me. I'm not going to be up in a grocery store fighting with ninjas over some water in a bottle when I got free water that comes out of tap I can boil and drink it. Come on, y'all. So, what I am telling y'all, use some wisdom. Back to the trucker bill thing, and then I'm going to get off of here because I didn't plan this to be 42 minutes. Trucker Bill has said to me, and he talked about the non diversity in the industry of trucking. And Bill told me he wanted to see more of us in here. He said because there's money to be made, and certain groups of people, Anglos who don't maybe care for us, and I'm not gonna say all, because there are Anglo people who are very diverse. I have them in my family who are diverse, who don't. They're, and I believe all we're raised up in America in a racist society because we're taught it in school. We're taught it. That's why we say black and we say white, and we define people by color opposed to ethnicity. And even with ethnicity, I think we have to be careful because really we're African American. I said in work the other day, and one of the guys, and we won't even go in this half thing, but he made a statement. The guy was joking with him, and they joke in a very bad manner, but he's joking with him, and he said, called him. He says, "Oh, something about Mexican in him." That man, because he considers himself Anglo, I don't have no Mexican in me. Well, 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 well. There's the racism that I've been seeing. He got defensive about it. And I almost want to say, you know what? I am willing to go buy a DNA test because if you grew up here in America, you are not 100% Anglo. We're not talking about when you came over with brought slaves over. Oh, no, no, no. We've been in America too long. We're too intermixed. And you don't know what grandpappy was doing and who was up in your family line and how you may have gotten in the family line. So we really need to do that spit test and find out what you got going on in you, because I have a feeling it ain't what you think you think. And I'm wondering how much Negra is in you. I'm just going to say like my grandma used to say. And I'm also wondering how much Latino is in you. I'm wondering how much Asian is in you. Honey, you're not 100% white, if that's you want to go by this race card. No, you're not. It doesn't exist anymore. Not in America. No, it doesn't. I don't even know if it exists in the world. I'm just saying. We are so mixed. I know of some of what's mixed in my line. I don't know all of what's mixed in my line. And it kills me when you get these people out here who be, boy, we need a DNA test. And that you want to break some cultural attitudes. That's what we need to break. My friend Joe was talking about a friend of his who, by all appearance, would be white. He did the DNA test. He called Joe excited because he's somebody who accepts people based on whoever they are. He's like, Joe, me and you might be related. I did the DNA test and I have Mexican in me. He's excited about it. Okay. And Joe, because that's the difference between Mr. I already know who you are in front of me. I ain't got no. Y'all, folks, so in the industry, I see a lot of that. And what kills me is these same people who get on these bandwagons. And if we did a DNA test, they're going to get their feelings hurt. I already know. I already know. I took a college class. Was that my 20s? My late 20s. I took it over at Mesa Community College. And they didn't have a good African American history teacher. So they actually brought somebody in. And he came from I think he came from the East Coast, if I remember. He's older back then. Black guy. Well, black by the sense, African American. So he came in, he taught, and I learned a valuable thing because used to be that even certain groups that they now consider quote unquote white did not fall under that classification years ago. Like the Jews weren't considered white, they were considered Jewish. Polish people were looked down upon. Unless you were European, what they called Anglo Saxon, European white. That was what white folks were. And if you fell outside of that, they looked down on you. But then as the numbers started to diminish, they didn't grow as much as they did. They reduced in family due to probably birth control. Then they started including other groups, the Jews and all this, and they made those groups feel good about themselves. Oh yeah, I'm white. I'm white. Bye. Bye. They didn't even include you, and now all of a sudden this little group is including you, so you feel special. Get over yourself. It it amazes me. It just absolutely amazes me, unless people know their history. And I'm thinking, here you are, you're a minority group, like Italians. Italians, a good Italian knows they don't consider themselves Anglo at all, at all. A good Italian, because I have some Italian friends. They like, I ain't white. I'm Italian. I got my boy Anthony. His father was black. His mom was Italian. Mama tell you, I'm Italian. I ain't white. Olive skin, funny colored eyes, jet black hair. Looked like she just came off the boat from Italy. Very much Italian. Very much Italian. Ethnicity plays a huge part in trucking, and Trucker Bill was right on it. And there is a unfortunate racial divide in the industry. There's still a gender divide for women. It is a still male-dominated industry, and by quote unquote, I hate the term white, a white male-dominated industry. It's very unfortunate because there are things that women brought to the table. I don't know if y'all watch Trucker 47 Brenda. She hasn't done any videos lately, but she says she used to do steel hauling when she came into the industry. But there were things in there that she saw when I watched some of her older videos, and they have changed in the industry. Even Bill, from the way the truck stops are, the cleanliness of the truck stops, the cleanliness of the bathrooms. Um, I can go to some of the old truck stops out there, and I could tell where it used to be male only. They had a male bathroom over in the driver's lounge, and you got to walk all the way over to the other building for the women's bathroom. And they got a women and men's near the restaurant, but they only have a man's bathroom at some of the Flying J's, especially Flying J's. Those are big on it. And I could tell, I was like, okay, this used to be one of the old school ones where we weren't really acknowledged as drivers, as female drivers. So they had to kind of bring us in and cater to us. But it actually made some things better. You talk to some of them old men drivers, and like when you guys started coming in more often, we noticed the showers started getting cleaner. We noticed the truck stops started cleaning up. We go to dinner, and why it's not a big deal. You're not going to some nasty restaurant. They try to make it aesthetically pleasing because women, we have a different viewpoint on when we sit down at a table, when we go in to take a shower, when we go to do our laundry, when we go to do any kind of business. We have a different perspective. So when Bill said there are things that you guys brought to the industry and bring to the industry, I want to see more of you, more females, more minorities, because there's money to be made in the industry and there's changes that need to happen in the industry. And that to me was key when I was talking to Bill. Um, and I didn't, coming from a corporate background where I did know there's still issues in corporations, obviously with minorities. But in the trucking industry, I've seen it at a level that I never imagined, on a gender level as a female and on a minority level as an African American female. And even for the Latinos, I see it. And it's deplorable. It really is. And the sensitivity, at least for where I'm at, they need to deal with it. I don't think it's a bad company. I just think it needs an overhaul. And I don't think they're the only one. I just think that somebody, University of Phoenix, when I worked for them, they did something, okay, and it impacted all universities. See, if you start something that can be a positive impact, that's a good thing. So we need a trucking company to take the lead and say, we're going to be, and I'm going to give Prime some credit with this because I noticed it with their females. Prime has a very, at least from what I can tell from some of the females I've dealt with on social media in trucking, Prime has a very aggressive program in conjunction with women in the trucking industry. And I think that is something that needs to be mimicked by a lot of trucking companies. But I also think it needs to be mimicked when it comes to minorities. And I'm not seeing that at some of the trucking industries that I'm seeing. And office wise, I'm really not seeing it. One of the reasons why my friend that was here, she actually left my company, and she said, I can't, honestly, I can't. She couldn't. She has 5 children. She couldn't risk working in an industry where maybe somebody doesn't care for her, they want to cut her throat, and you got to worry about them backstabbing you or cutting you to your neck with politics because they scared or they intimidated by you, or they just might not like you because of your persuasion, and because you're female, because you're African American, because you're Latino, you 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 don't want to have to come in that, especially when you need a paycheck to pay for to take care of your family, and you're a single mom. So she actually has some family issues too, but at the same time, she had to weigh all of that. And she says, I'll be better off going back to where I'm at. They're calling me back. And that's what she did. And when I have to apologize to her because I'm like, I didn't know. I mean, I knew some stuff, but I didn't know the degree at what was going on until I started experiencing it even more so than what I did when I walked in the door. But then when she was sharing some of the stuff with me, um, it is corporate, but it's the same issue from sitting in the seat, and that's the problem. This stuff is impacting the driver. I love working with my drivers. I love talking to them. I love helping them. Um, but I realize now, sitting in the background of the office to where I was in the seat, the problems that you're having in the seat and some of the treatment you're getting in the seat is the direct influence of what's not fixed in the office. And it is going to relay to the seat. It's going to relay on a lot of different levels. And you're going to be impacted on a lot of different levels. So it's sad, it's sick, it's twisted, it's wrong. It exists and it needs an overhaul. Companies like Walmart, they had to go through and get an overhaul through a lawsuit. Yes, they did. Through two different ones. They had one for the win with women and one with the ones with minorities. And Walmart had to rechange. Y'all can go back and research that. Walmart was discriminatory on both levels. And honey, they on the driver level, I don't even know what's going on in the office, but on the driver levels, they had problems on both levels. And they had to go in there and they started recruiting and had to make special, they started doing more recruiting towards women and minority drivers because of the suits that happened. It's unfortunate that companies have to get to that, but if that's what it takes, is bending you over the knee and spanking you and saying, "Hey, y'all need to change," then so be it. But to me, why not take the initiative? You know, we're in 2020. I'm sorry, black folks exist, and I hate the word black. African Americans exist. Hello, Latinos exist. Hello, Africans exist. Hello, Asian Americans exist. Everybody brings something to the table. And you have some people who are very gifted in all those groups. Why not bring the best talent and bring diverse talent to the table who can have an impact? But if you're so caught up in skin color or whatever your issues are, that you can't change an industry, there's a problem. If you so caught up in gender that I'm a manly man and this is a manly industry, that you no. Monty told me a story, Grumpy Smurf. He was, and this is, I can tell the story now because he don't work for the railroad anymore. He's retired. When he was working for the railroad, he started bringing women in, and they had brought. My father did training. He did a lot of training for the railroad. He was a brakeman switchman. Okay. Well, Grumpy, lazy as hell on a personal level, he was a hard worker as far as work. So he did a lot of training. He trained a lot of them, called them the kids, and he went up there to visit some of his kids that were working. And Grumpy Smurf, he said they brought him a lady to train, and they pulled him aside, and they were basically the male management in a roundabout way was telling him they wanted him to get rid of her. Okay, so they wanted him to train her to get rid of her, and they wanted him to give reporting back on her in order to get rid of her. Okay, my father, thank God, he's a jerk sometimes, but Monty, when it came to work, was fair. Okay, he said, while I knew she was a woman and I knew the work was hard, he said she did better than the men. He said she might have some struggles occasionally, but she listened, she executed, and she got the job done. He said it might be a little bit more time for her, but I saw more willingness to do the job than I saw with some of the males, who want to sit there and shoot the shiz and not do nothing. He said, so when they came back to me asking me, well, what's going on with her, meaning they wanted her gone, he told them, he says, look, you need to probably give her to another trainer if you're looking for them to get rid of her because honestly, I'm not. He said, she do better than XYZ and named off some of the dudes that he had. He said, she doing a better job than them. She's willing to learn. She follows procedure. She's out here hustling. She's working her butt off, her A off. He said, I'm not getting rid of her. So if that's what you're looking for, I'm not that's not what I'm gonna do here because the woman is doing her job. That mindset is still within the transportation industry. Trains as well as trucking. However, Monty, he fussed about stuff because they started doing cultural stuff about what they could talk about. Because men will talk. It's funny because men say women say a lot of stuff. Men gossip just as bad as females. I've been to barbershops back in the day, and I was like, am I in a barbershop or a beauty shop? Them ninjas, they gossip just like girls. Okay, they talk about stuff like some girls, and so they they would talk and they talk, male stuff, nasty stuff, sex stuff, all sorts of stuff. And Monty Grumpy Smurf, he said he was pissed because they came with things that they couldn't talk about anymore. But then I had to tell him, I said, let me ask you this. And Grumpy's still special. I said, if that's your wife or your daughter, would you want those kind of conversations going on around her? No. If that's your grandbaby, you want those conversations going around her? No. So all they were asking you to do is to change it because now you have cultural diversity going on. It's no longer a male dominated industry. You now have females coming in and you need to be respectful. They're also avoiding sexual harassment. Okay? While you guys, as guys all together, that might be a male conversation. This industry no longer is a male dominated industry. It's now incorporating females who are working to support their families, some of them solo by themselves. Some of them could have spouses that are disabled. You don't know what the circumstances are, but it's time to change. We're in 2020. Women are in the workplace. They're not just sitting home having babies. No, they're not. Some of them are single mothers because some males didn't step up to the plate and be what they had to do. The industry needs to change and it needs to be more accepting that it is diverse now, culturally, gender wise, and age wise. People are now having to work longer because the cost of living is higher. So you got old people working. Bill's 63 years old, 63, 64 years old. He's working past a retirement age. A lot of people start retiring in their 60s, 61, 62, late 50s. He's working later. I'm possibly going to most likely be working later. We got to look at things differently, y'all. Look through some different glasses. So the industry does need an overhaul. It's just what it is. Anyway, y'all, I got to get off here. I'm going to call the Joe back. It's almost an hour. 2 and 2. Peace. Oh, the shirts. I got below um the link for PayPal. I'll be setting up Patreon today. Danielle, big thank you and big ups to Danielle. She was my first person to give to the logo. So she gave me money. She's gonna have when the shirts get printed. I'm already got to put 2 shirts aside because she gave me some money in order to start working on the logo. So if y'all want to do that, put that down below. I'll be having the Patreon set up here shortly. Yeah, we're gonna get the ball rolling. So y'all, again, 2 and 2, be blessed. Peace.